this is how it goes down whenever a Dragon Ball fan is defending Goku or Dragon Ball from another fandom, and this can instantly turn any fan base against their Dragon Ball fan. Because to be honest, we cause a lot of chaos sometimes. But one of the things often said about Dragon Ball is just how overrated Dragon Ball is, especially from non-Dragon Ball fans. For example, how overhyped it is about its games, its series, Goku, the main character, its fights, its overwhelming power and display of power, and how the love we have for the series is just carried by nostalgia. But is any of this true? Is Dragon Ball actually what it is said to be? Is it overrated, or does it actually live up to the hype? Well, let's talk about it. Now, if you ask a typical Dragon Ball fan why or how they like Dragon Ball so much, it's usually replied with one answer: they watched it as a kid. So basically, their love for the series stems from nostalgia, as many cartoons and shows we loved as kids were. Because back then, we could watch anything as long as it is exciting to. Plot wasn't really the required package back then. So nostalgia pretty much drove a lot of fans to give Dragon Ball a kind of leverage above many others, despite there are animes out there who does what Dragon Ball does in overall extreme. When it comes to animations, fights, story, but not transformation, I don't think there's any anime that can top that to today. So despite all this, Dragon Ball fans still give Dragon Ball all its glory. But if you turn it around and ask me a similar question, I would tell you something totally different. Because just like others, I don't fall into the category of watching this series as a kid. Yeah, it seems weird, right? It doesn't sit right for someone who never experienced the nostalgic feeling of watching Dragon Ball to be talking about it in every video he's made. True, but let me explain something to you. When I was a kid, I never watched anime like others did, or even Dragon Ball. And growing older, I really despised anime as a whole because it always seemed so over-exaggerated for me. But still, I knew about Dragon Ball because I happened to have watched some aspect of it, and it wasn't OG Dragon Ball, it wasn't Z, it definitely wasn't GT or any of the popular movies out there, but this particular Dragon Ball movie. What made it worse is that it wasn't English dub or Japanese sub, it was French.
What?
Yes, my first interaction with Dragon Ball was an extremely forgettable movie spoken in French, with no subtitles. Yes, that's how bad it was. So I basically just watched a cartoon where a big buff dude went around beating kids and causing mayhem, and me sitting there not understanding shit. But despite that, I still like that Dragon Ball movie. Sure, I thought it was just a cartoon which name I didn't know, but it was good. So years went by and I pretty much caught a glimpse of Dragon Ball Super later on, and that was in the Goku Black arc. And because of my nonsensical hate for anime, I started clowning it. But after watching it for a while, it became low-key good and I started getting locked in. And from then on, I just kept watching and watching up to the Tournament of Power arc, where I was blown away by the absolute spectacle that is Ultra Instinct and Goku's insane fight with Jiren, which I found out later actually broke the internet. It's pretty hype. This started my journey throughout watching anime, as I wanted to experience that phenomenon again, and I did, especially from series that was inspired from Dragon Ball, be it Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, and many more. After experiencing all of this, I decided, okay, I've shied away from watching the original series of Dragon Ball that started it all, and I wasn't expecting to be blown away from how good a series made so long ago could be. From the OG Dragon Ball, heavily underrated but the only anime closest to One Piece in my own opinion, as it was good, its comedy was good, its action, damn the fights, and Z, just everything but better. And Super, a little bit controversial to many, but I loved it still, not just for introducing me to anime, but cause it is actually good. So what am I really saying? Because I won't be surprised while carrying you guys through this story and mostly reacting like this me right here. But hey, if you enjoyed the story and the video so far, you can always drop a like for the video, as it helps support the channel and also shows you care. Do you care? So back to the video at hand. Why am I saying all this? Basically carrying you through a straight up history class. Well, it's to make a statement that not all of Dragon Ball's hype stems from nostalgia, as whatever the series represents, it is actually true. Dragon Ball is a good series. Take it from someone who isn't based on nostalgia. Dragon Ball is stated to be an inspiration for a lot of great works of anime we know and love today. This is something that has been proven based on inspiration drawn into other mangas, and said by the creators to be influenced by Dragon Ball. Most lowballing that comes to Dragon Ball are based on the fact we Dragon Ball fans are a menace to anime society. We cause chaos using Dragon Ball's name, but that there is true. But not everything is done out of just the need to cause chaos. Most is to prove a point. Dragon Ball consists of extremely powerful dynamic of power, well overshadowing other anime. Sure, the fight can't be compared to what we have now, but also 90% of where Dragon Ball fights were made was back in the 90s, which still, you gotta be honest, still has good fights despite being old. The story may not hold strongly like other animes or go around writing stories and well-structured plots like Attack on Titan or One Piece. Dragon Ball was mostly simply laid out. More reason why younger audiences gravitate to it. But when it comes to transformations, I still think no anime has stopped that yet. And Daima proved that Dragon Ball's animation can be better and will be better when Super returns. And if Toei gives as much love into Dragon Ball's animation as they did with One Piece, that will make it even better. Goku being an inspiration to many and Vegeta being a well-written character with Dragon Ball having more iconic moments and hype surrounding it isn't just baseless statement, it is backed up by the series and what it has accomplished. So by everything I have said, yeah, Dragon Ball isn't overrated. It actually lives up to the hype it's built for years as an anime classic, and to me it still holds relevance today as it still inspires many to be better. Before I go on to say something, the term overrated is often misunderstood in context. It means to have a higher opinion of someone or something than it deserves. As to most people, they just assume it means something isn't good. But do you know what overrated also is? It is subjective, which means the idea of something being overrated is based on our personal opinions, which we all have. So for me, Dragon Ball is overrated. It actually lives up to its hype. This video may not satisfy many, even Dragon Ball fans too, as it doesn't cover everything, but that's what the comment section is for. If you agree with my take or disagree or have more to add, let me know in the comments, as that's where the chaos happens. So drop a like for the video if you still want my videos to be recommended to you and many others, and subscribe so you don't miss any upload. But until then, my bed's calling me, I'm off.